Brought to you by Overtime Sports Network.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Nate Fowler, and today we're going to crush legs with limited equipment. Now today we're going to work supersets. The superset is where you work 2 consecutive movements, one after the other. And then we're going to rest and hit another superset. For example, for the first superset that we're working, we're going to do a goblet squat followed by a rear foot elevated split squat, or as some people know, a Bulgarian split squat. Now what that's doing is we're working our strength, but we're also working our endurance because we're working the same muscle consecutively. We're going to do a goblet squat, which is both legs, and then we're going to work that Bulgarian split squat, which is going to focus on one leg, which is a little bit harder. With that being said, let's go to work on this first superset. Now with the first exercise, the goblet squat, you can use whatever weight you feel comfortable with. We're going to be doing 15 reps, so whatever you use, make sure that you kind of feel a little bit of fatigue on those last 3 reps. Whether it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever feels comfortable for you. Now, if you don't want to squat with weight, you could do just body weight with these exercises, and it'll still give you the same effect. So with that being said, I'm going to use a 30-pound kettlebell. Now, the goblet squat is going to be kind of similar to a front squat a little bit. Hold it like a goblet. So we're either going to hold one end of the dumbbell. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can hold both ends, whichever is fine. I like this here. So now we're going to keep our elbows in nice and tight, weight close to our body. I'm going to keep my chest up, feet shoulder width apart. Some of us, like me, feel a little more comfortable with our toes pointed out. If you can keep your toes straight when you squat, that's fine. If you'd like to go a little bit narrower stance, you can do that as well. But for me, I like to point my toes out, helps me get my range of motion. So what's good with the goblet squat is that we're going to be working not only our legs, but we're going to work our upper body as well. Just holding the weight up while we squat, we're going to work our upper back, our lower back, which is also our core. So we're going to be working core and a little bit of upper body holding the weight up. So, like I said, we're going to goblet squat for 15 reps, and then we're going to follow that up with a Bulgarian split squat. So let's start with these squats. So with the goblet squat, if you don't feel comfortable squatting as low as I am, that's fine. You find the range of motion that feels comfortable for you. If you need to squat to a chair or to a bench, that's fine. Whatever works for you. Again, this can all be modified to whatever feels comfortable for you. Got 3 more. Now the trick is going to be to go right into the next exercise. You want to waste very little time into going to the superset, just to really focus on pumping as much blood into that muscle as you can. So with the Bulgarian split squat, like I said, it's a rear foot elevated squat. So you can use a chair, a bench, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm going to use a little step stool here. Set it behind you. Depending on the height, on what you feel comfortable with, you can put the top of your foot on the box. Because it's not tall enough for me, I'm going to put my toe down. You're going to keep your knee down. We're going to try not to open our leg up at all. Try to keep everything nice and square. Foot forward. Again, we're going to go goblet style. And we're going to squat straight down. The goal is to try to get the back leg, that knee, almost to the floor. as best you can. And we're gonna do 10 reps on each leg. So you can see right now, my right knee is kind of wiggling around. It's a little bit harder than it would be a regular squat. But it's good to work unilateral exercises because you can find some weaknesses on certain sets. When we work unilateral movements, we can even ourselves out just a little bit. So I did 10, so now we're gonna go to the other leg. Same thing, toe down, knee down. Keep your hips nice and square. Try not to open up one way or the other. Stay nice and tall. We're gonna hit 10. So after one superset, we're gonna rest for about a minute or so, and we're gonna hit that same exercise. So what that's doing is these supersets, what you'll really notice is that your quads, top of your thighs, are really gonna start to burn a little bit. And that's good. We strengthen our quads, we get better balance for our older people, but even anybody in between or even younger. You strengthen your quads, you can be a little more explosive, and it helps with your overall balance. So again, we're gonna rest for about a minute, and we're gonna go right back into it. Now after that second round of that first superset of goblet squats and the Bulgarian split squat, we have another superset for you. It's gonna focus mainly on the hamstrings. So we got a Romanian deadlift or a straight leg deadlift, followed by a front foot elevated split squat. So the front leg is on the box. So with the straight leg deadlift, just like with the goblet squat, we're gonna keep our chest up so our shoulders are back. You can go hands in front, just like you would be holding a barbell. Knees slightly bent, we don't wanna be locked out. It's not good for our legs. I'm gonna bend just slightly at the knees, bend at the hip, go about mid-shin, and then I'm driving back up on my legs, driving my hips forward. So a side angle here, again, keeping my back nice and flat, knees slightly bent, shooting my butt back, going about mid-shin. So now my back's nice and flat. You can sit a cup of water on my back right now and I'd be able to keep it up. And then I'm driving back up, squeezing glutes, squeezing quads, coming back up. So now we're gonna do 15 reps. This is also another upper back, lower back core exercise. Go over boost, straight leg. Three more. All right, now, like I said, next exercise is that front foot elevated split squat. So this, again, it's gonna work your balance a little bit, but it's also a unilateral movement. We're working one leg at a time. You might feel this one in your back leg quad a little bit, just a stretch, and because we just worked quads just a little bit ago. So this one's really gonna focus on range of motion. Try to get that back knee to the floor as best you can. We're gonna break 90 degrees. We're gonna get a nice big stretch in our hamstring. Again, these can be used whatever weight you feel comfortable with or body weight. So front foot, back foot on the toe, keep that knee down. Try to go down as low as you can. you got to kind of step up a little bit just to get your leg to. Let's turn it into a step up. Just so we can get the full range of motion. Go down as low as you can and step up to the box. Got 2 more. So I had to change it up a little bit just because of the size of the box. If I had a littler box, I'd be able to do just a split squat, but just to challenge myself a little bit more, I turned it into a step up. So a lot of things, if certain things are too challenging, you could always modify it to make it a little bit easier on you. If it's too easy, you could always make it harder by adding a step up. Again, all the way down, drive up. Two more. So now, if you do not want to use a step up, there's also another modification. It's just a regular split squat. So, same setup. We're just not elevated on the front or back foot. Here, let's go at side angle. You're here. Keep your chest up. You still want to focus on trying to have both legs break 90 degrees as best you can. You want to focus all the weight on the front leg, the back toes just for stabilization. So whenever you come up, you don't want to drive back, put any weight on this back leg. Back leg is just for stabilization. We're split squatting to focus on the front leg. So again, that's another modification for you. So now, again, 15 reps of the straight leg deadlift, followed by that front foot elevated split squat or step up, whatever works for you. And rest for a minute. Hit a second round. Now the last superset is gonna work outer inner thigh area, glutes. We got a sumo deadlift, and then we also have a lateral squat. So again, I'm gonna use my 30-pound dumbbell, sumo deadlift. We're gonna have our feet outside of shoulder width, toes pointed out. We're gonna keep our knees pushed out. Chest up. We're gonna hold one end of the dumbbell, and we're squatting down all the way to the floor. Now when we drop it, we wanna drop it right around where our heels are. So we're gonna stay nice and low, sitting back as far as we can. Again, chest up and driving up. So again, you should feel this in your hips a little bit. We're gonna do 15. Again, trying to keep our chest up as best we can. If you bend at the hip a little bit to reach over, that's fine. Just really focusing on squeezing your glutes, keeping your knees pushed out. Three more. Two. And three. So, lateral squat. You can make that a lateral lunge if you'd like. It makes it a little bit harder. Lateral squat gives you kind of the same range of motion. You're just doing a little less work. So, again, outside shoulder width. Hold the goblet style. We're gonna reach out to one leg as best we can, sitting back on the hill, driving up. And we're gonna do 10 each leg. And this one you can alternate, or you can do one at a time. Up to you, really. As you can see, my leg that I'm not bending, you want to try to keep as straight as you can. I'm gonna do 3 more. One more. Good. Now if you finish 2 sets of each, you're probably really worn out. If you can't do 2 sets, that's fine. Do just 1 set. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. If there's one that you can do more than 1 round of, that's fine. You can mix that up however you want it. Ideal would be 2 rounds each, but again, whatever you feel comfortable with. All these you could do just body weight for the most part. I would say with the sumo deadlift, I would definitely grab at least some weight. If not, then you're just doing a wide stance squat, which will work too, I guess. So all of this can be done with body weight. All of this can be done with whatever weight, dumbbell, kettlebell that you feel comfortable with. As long as you do the first exercise 15 reps, second exercise 10 reps each, you're going to get a really good workout in about a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on how long you rest in between. Ideal would be about a minute, but if you have less weight and it's not really too challenging, I would say definitely throw in a shorter rest. Throw in like a 30-second rest and maybe get an extra round in. Try to get 3 rounds in if you have not a very heavy weight. Give this a try. Let me know how you like it in the comments. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to keep coming out with content every week as best as I can. If you'd like to see anything, please leave it in the comments or leave me a message on social media. And let's get stronger together.